Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Omega Insight. Tonight's topic is navigating change with a purpose. I'd like to thank you all for joining me this evening. Of course, my name is Anne Marie, and as I've already mentioned, our topic is navigating change with a purpose. So when we think about change, last Monday, the last time I met, we talked about change and how change is inevitable, and we discussed how um, change is very beneficial for us. And when we embrace change, I correlated it to the fall and how fall is releasing. So I um, challenge you to see if there's things that you could release this fall in the embracing change. So tonight, I wanted to talk a little bit about change as navigating it with purpose and intention. So we know that change happens. We've already mentioned all of that. We all experience it, whether it knocks on the door unannounced or we plan for it. Um, while change can be daunting at times, it can feel very overwhelming. I'd like to share with you tonight some techniques that you can do to navigate it with purpose and intention. And the point of this is when I have purpose and intention, I feel more in control because most of the time when we have change, it's like, ah, and we feel like we're out of control. So where I can face change with purpose and intention, at least I can control how I'm responding to the change, which is ideal. It would be very ideal. So the first thing we have to think of course, I've already mentioned change, it's constant. It's a constant in our lives. It can manifest in many forms. Something as dramatic as a new job, moving to a new place, or even shifts in our personal relationship. While we might initially view change as something negative or disruptive, most of the time we put our brakes on, it's crucial to remember that it could also be a catalyst for growth and transformation. Um, think of it like a seed. In order for this to grow into a beautiful plant, it has to go the process of breaking down and transforming, literally transforming the soil around it. So, similarly, we can use change as an opportunity to break down old habits and beliefs and emerge as something new. So, the key to navigating effectively in our lives lies in our mindset. So when we're faced with change, it's very common to feel fear or anxiety. But what if we reframed our thinking and we turn those feelings into curiosity or excitement? Instead of asking ourselves, why is this happening to me? What if we thought, I wonder what I can learn from this experience? Now, I know this sounds a little hokey pokey, and you're going to be like, yeah, whatever. And I understand the first couple of times you try this, but truly, if you stick with this and embrace change, you will train yourself not to react with fear anymore. You'll actually train yourself to respond with, okay, let's see what we can do here and have a more brighter attitude, if I could just use those words. So consider a situation where you lost a job. Well, it might feel like a setback initially. It could also be a chance to explore perhaps opportunities that you may not have considered otherwise. By shifting our perspective, we can uncover new possibilities and growth. I think it's funny that sometimes, I mean, really not funny, but I think it's odd that I'll be working with somebody and they're complaining about this job, and then before they know it, they lose their job and they're all upset because they lost their job. Well, you didn't like that job in the first place. So let's find something new that maybe might be something you are more in alignment with. So, again, as I said, I know you're going to be going, oh, whatever. It's easy to say, harder to do. Well, that's life. Everything is easier to say as opposed to doing things. So here's the 5 steps that I wanted to dis- discover and explore tonight for navigating change with purpose. Remember, this is the idea, is to navigate our change with intention and purpose. Once we discover the change, whether we're initiating it or if it happens to us, we can say, take a deep breath and say, okay, what do I do? First thing, acknowledge your feelings. So please don't try to pretend you're not afraid. If you're afraid, acknowledge your fear. I'm afraid. What are you afraid of? What are some of the things you're afraid of? So it's okay to feel apprehensive about change. Allow yourself to have those emotions rather than suppressing them, because suppressing them is not going to help you. So acknowledge it. If you're fear or if you have anxiety, those are the things that we can acknowledge. Okay, I've got to grab on it. Here's the change. Here's what I'm feeling. Number two, then set an intention. So once I've acknowledged my feelings, set a clear intention on how I want to respond to this change. Okay, here's the change. I'm feeling fearful. How do I want to respond? Well, perhaps maybe I want to respond with a clear mind. Maybe I need a moment to think about it. Maybe I want to journal it down and talk about some of the options that I have, or perhaps maybe have a conversation. So, again, the idea is to how do I shift this around to what I want to achieve in this new phase? Then, of course, the third thing, create a plan, which I've already mentioned. Develop a roadmap on how you want to navigate through this change, and break your goals into small goals. Don't take it all at the same time. Make them actionable, little tiny steps here and there to be able to get through it so you don't feel overwhelmed with the whole entire process. And then, of course, seek support. I've already mentioned this. Don't hesitate to reach out to your friends, your families, your loved ones, mentors, people that you know have gone through the same similar situations. Get an idea about their experiences and concerns. They can provide some very valuable perspective and encouragement. And then, of course, the last thing, stay open minded. Remaining open to unexpected opportunities that may arise as a result of the change, because we may not know the whole story. Something else might be coming around the corner that we just can't quite see yet. So, implementing trust the process. I'm sure those of you who've known me, you've heard me say, trust the universe. The universe is unfolding as expected. Life has everything in life has value. You couldn't handle anything if it wasn't ready to come to you. There's all those belief systems out there, but I really do. If you get down to the main point, just trust the process and trust yourself. You've made it to where you are right now, so trust that you will now make it through the next step. Because as we said, change is an integral part of life. And that's what leads us to personal growth and transformation. By approaching it with purpose and intention, that gives us the opportunity to navigate the challenges and emerge on the other side perhaps stronger, because I've taken it into my own hands and I've learned to embrace it rather than fear it. Remember, the whole goal is to be able to embrace the change. It's going to happen, whether we want it to or not. It's going to happen. So thank you again for joining me this evening. I truly appreciated it. Appreciate it. I'd like to remind you that we have an Omega 1 that is starting November 22nd. It's about halfway full, so if you are interested, or if you know any family, friends, or loved ones that would be interested in attending, just go to the website here below, and that will take you to a place that you can register. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I truly appreciate it. I'm very grateful that you are watching us, and look forward to seeing you on the other side of Zoom. All right, bye now.